It's great being from Kannapolis, North Carolina. It's the kind of hometown that everybody wishes they had. I'm proud to say that I was born to Ralph and Martha Earnhardt as the third of 5 children. I think you all know my daddy as a racer, and because of him, it's all I ever wanted to be. My sisters Kay and Kathy and brothers Randy and Danny, they've all meant a lot to me through the years with the support they've always given. My mom is my biggest fan, and I'm glad she's had the chance to share a lot of the good times with me. I want to say thanks to all my family, friends, and business associates in the Carolinas and all over that have supported me in the good times and bad. People you may not have heard of that have really helped me in the past, people like Jimmy Otten at Piedmont Bank, who helped me with 90-day notes to keep me racing when my pockets were empty. Growing up, I thought we were rich because I was always around race cars. I got a lot of hands-on experience with my dad, how to work on cars and what it took to win. I love going to the races with my dad or working with racers like Haywood Plyler. I think I was Haywood's first crew chief. I would do the windshield and roll tires around the car, whatever. The early years were pretty exciting, pretty scary, and pretty unbelievable at times. David and Ray Oliver owned the first car I drove. A little bit embarrassed that it was pink, but I had a good time driving it. Next, I drove an old 56 Ford that James Miller owned. During the winter, James and the guys built a 63 Falcon. Can you believe we won the first race we ran it? My next car owners was Tommy and James and Frank Russell from Concord, North Carolina. I know we won over 26 races the first year, and I think 29 or more the second year. All my racing back then was on dirt. While I was still running the 6-cylinder class, Pete Hamilton, Tex Powell, Larry Rathgaff, and the Petties gave me a chance to test the Chrysler kit car at Concord, North Carolina. Boy, you talking about an experience getting out of a 6-cylinder into a V8. Now that was some fun. After my dad passed away, I was fortunate to have a good friend, Gray London, who bought me my first asphalt car. It was a 65 Chevelle from Harry Gant. 1974 was my first asphalt race, and I've got to thank Harry Gant and Tommy Houston for teaching me the difference between dirt and asphalt. That was some experience. Bobby Isaac also meant a lot to me in those days. He gave me some great advice. I got to thank Ned Jarrett, who was the promoter at Hickory Speedway in those days. He helped me with finding sponsors. One of my first sponsors was Dock Cycle Center of Kannapolis, which was owned by Marshall Brooks, a good friend of mine, and boy, was he a lot of fun. My first super speedway race came when Richard Howard of Charlotte Motor Speedway helped me get a ride with Neil Castles in the Sportsman 300 in October of 1974. I kept racing the short tracks in the Sportsman division with the help of friends like Gary Hargett. In May of 1975, I made my first Winston Cup start. I drove an Edna Grease Dodge in the World 600. Boy, what an experience. About that same time, Robert G. built a Camaro that we raced at Concord and some other short tracks around there. Boy, it was awesome. We won a lot of races with that car. I'm grateful to Robert for all the help he gave me, from driving his dirt car to winning Daytona, Charlotte, Rockingham, and his sportsman cars. Robert really meant a lot to me, as well as a lot of other people in racing. When times were tight, there was a lot of people that believed in me. I've got to thank people like Dick Hutchison and Eddie Pagan for, well, letting me charge too much on my parts bill that I finally paid off. In May of 1976, I drove a car owned by Walter Ballard at Charlotte for my second Winston Cup start. Then in November, I drove Johnny Ray's car at Atlanta with Buddy Parrott as my crew chief. Boy, I got in a heck of a wreck over in Turn 3 with Dick Brooks and demolished the car. I got a break in 1978 thanks to Humpy Wheeler, who put me in a Will Cronkite car at Charlotte, the World 600. I ran 3 more races with Will before I met Rod Osterlund. Rod let me drive his sportsman car at Charlotte and his Winston Cup car at Atlanta, where I finished 4th in just my 9th Winston Cup start. With the support of Rod Osterlund and the whole Osterlund team, I was on my way. 1979 was a great year. I won my first Winston Cup race at Bristol, and I won the Rookie of the Year. We had a good crew with guys like Doug Richard, Jake Elder, Dave D'Ambrosio, and Lou LaRosa. It's hard to believe the next year we won our first Winston Cup championship. In 1981, I made the decision to change rides, and Junior Johnson was instrumental in helping me team up with Richard Childers. Richard and I both appreciate Junior's advice. Then in 1982, I had the opportunity to drive for a great man, Bud Moore. We won some races, but more importantly, Bud helped me settle down. I'll always be grateful to Bud. So many people helped me in my career for no other reason except they love to race. and they believed in me. I really appreciate people like Mike Herman, Ronnie Sellers, Gene Dees, Mike Watkins, Woody Chavis, Robert G. Jr., Rick Brigman, Rick Boss, Don Drake, Mark McCullen, my brothers Randy and Danny, Tony Urey, and Donnie Reeves. Of course, I've got to remember my old buddy Joe Whitlock. He taught me there's more to this sport than just driving a race car, and he kept me really amused with great stories about my dad. In 1984, I went back to drive for Richard Childers. He had put together a strong team that has a lot of the same people that make up the team today. The Childers team won 4 pit crew championships in a row from 1985 through 88 with guys like Kurt Shammerding, Will Lynn, David Smith, and Chocolate Myers. Together, we won NASCAR Winston Cup championships in 86 and 87 in Chevrolet Monte Carlos for Wrangler. Jim Goodrich came along in 1988, and with their support, we've won 4 Winston Cup championships in the past 5 years in our Chevy Luminas. Through it all, Richard Childers has given me the best crew, the best cars, and the best advice and friendship that any man could ask for. Throughout my career, I've made some great racing friends, men I've learned from, men like David Pearson, Kel Yarborough, Benny Parsons, Donnie and Bobby Allison, Richard Petty, and Dave Marcus. Of course, we've had some sad times. We've lost some great guys that I love to race with. Guys like Tim Richmond, Davey Allison, and Alan Kowicki. They were more than competitors to me. They were our friends. Then there's all the other characters I'm still racing with. Rusty, Ernie, Mark, Schrader, Kyle, Jeff Gordon, and all the other guys out there. You are the ones who make NASCAR Winston Cup racing so competitive. There are personal friends and fans who have encouraged me more than they'll ever know. I've got to make a special point to thank Bill France and the whole NASCAR family. They do more than most will ever know to give us a great organization to race with. Thanks to the folks at R.J. Reynolds, T. Wayne, Jim Johnson, and all the others through the years that have made this sport grow in a way that just is unbelievable. I've walked away with a lot of their checks, and I really appreciate Winston. Thanks also to the promoters, the press people, just everyone involved who has helped me become a 7-time champion. I know where the sport has come from, and I know without everybody's help, I wouldn't be where I am tonight. I'm fortunate to have a great family. My children, Carrie, Kelly, Dale Jr., and Taylor Nicole have given me a lot of joy. I want all of them to know how proud I am of them. I don't know how far we could have gotten without Teresa. She's been just a great wife and a friend to me. Of all the good things that have happened to me, Teresa has been the best. I couldn't close without a thanks to Neil. A man couldn't ask for a better friend. He was with me and the whole team this past season. He was in our thoughts and in our hearts. Nobody will ever know how much Neil Bonnet has helped me in my life. I just wish I had the chance to thank him. With the help of the good Lord and a lot of good people, I made the journey from the old dirt tracks around Kannapolis to the greatest super speedways in the world. And tonight, while you may be honoring me as your 7-time champion, I'm here to say it's me, Dale Earnhardt, who honors you and thanks you.
We will